Vivekananda. And when he was in America, after breakfast, he suddenly, on the breakfast table itself, he took out one envelope. That old envelope, and he cut it. So there was, second side was blank. On that, he started making a design of the emblem that will be registered for Ramakrishna Mutt. And that is why you find in all our publications, you will find an emblem of Ramakrishna Mission. That was designed by Swami Vivekananda. So he was a leader he was a visionary, not only visionary, a missionary. He started it and he gave the mandate, Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva, worship the God in man. But not only that, he gave that emblem. He said the emblem should be such that is a registered emblem. Nobody else, no other organization can use this emblem. And he said the emblem should be such that by that emblem, you get the whole philosophy of Ramakrishna Mission or of Swami Vivekananda. What is that emblem? You find that emblem, it must be somewhere in our publications. You might be getting, this is the emblem you are getting. You must have seen, there is a serpent, a coiled serpent, and there is a sun, and there is a waves of water, and there is a lotus, and there is a hansa. There is that swan. So what is the meaning? And it is written, Tanno Hansa Prachodayat. That serpent is the coiled energy of the Kundalini. That denotes Kundalini Shakti. That means Raj Yoga. What is Raj Yoga? That is arousing the Kundalini. Kundalini goes from the Muladhara to Sahasrara, and then you get Samadhi. So that is arousing the Kundalini. That is Raj Yoga. Lotus is Bhakti, love. That is Prem Yoga or path of Bhakti Yoga. Then sun, knowledge. Sun denotes Jnana Yoga. Waves of water are the waves of karma, Karma Yoga. And then swan is the Paramhans, Paramatma, Tanno Hansa Prachodayat. This is how you achieve God realization. This is how you can reach Paramatman. How is that? By combination of 4 yogas. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work, worship, psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Dogmas, rituals, worships, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. This is the best way to develop SQ. You know, there is a book by Dana Zohar. She is a professor in Oxford University. SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? Emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman made a research in 1991 and said EQ is more important than IQ. EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? SQ will tell you whether to play the game of life at all or not. Well, that is your choice. What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? That will be told by SQ. And she has given various measures of developing SQ. But you will find that the Western models of SQ development are not working. But Swami Vivekananda gives a very comprehensive technique of developing this SQ. How? Combination of 4 yogas in daily life. Very easy. Just a little bit of meditation morning, evening, little bit of prayer morning and evening, little bit of inspiration morning and evening, and converting the work into worship, thinking that it is worship of the Lord. This is the fundamental way in which we can convert work into worship, in which we can practice this holistic management in our daily life by combination 4 yogas, develop IQ, EQ and SQ, and get success in everyday life, and that will lead us to ultimate success. That is infinite joy, infinite happiness and infinite peace. Then only you can keep smiling. What President said, that keep smiling, but smile how it will come? When we practice these 4 yogas and there is peace inside, otherwise you are bubbling from within. Why my wife did not prepare this book for me, this particular dress for me, and you are bubbling from within. And what type of food she gave in the morning, this breakfast, what a wretched breakfast she had given to me. You are bubbling from within to, you are cursing your wife, your children, this and that, and you are full of tension. How can you smile? So smile will come when you have got this happiness from within. peace from within. And that will come by practicing these 4 yogas. When you develop IQ, EQ and SQ, and then you get total success in everyday life, and you get eternal happiness, eternal peace and eternal life. So that is, and then Dana Zohar says, the one of the most important persons, the pioneers who practice this servant leadership in our own age is Swami Vivekananda. He also gives the name, she also gives the name of Swami Vivekananda. So, Swami Vivekananda had a very, very broad spectrum. He practiced servant leadership, what we are talking about. He advocated trusteeship management. Whatever we are talking about, the management values, he has practiced them, he has told about them. He was a global leader, which is very important for a global civilization. And he was a visionary and a missionary in one. And he was not an astrologer, but a visionary. Whatever he has told has come true. For example, he told in 1897, India will become independent within 50 years. And exactly after 50 years, 1947, India became independent. He also said India will become independent in an informal way without waging a war. Nobody ever dreamt that a country could become independent without waging a war. Because Mahatma Gandhi came up only in 1915. Later on he started non-cooperation movement. But Swami Vivekananda visualized it. Swami Vivekananda, whatever he said has come true. He also said in 1897 in his lecture in Chennai, India shall conquer the world by its spiritual culture. That is yet to happen. It has already started happening, you know. There was a news item in Times of India. Americans going gaga over yoga. Americans going gaga over yoga. And the Time magazine brought out a special issue with the front cover showing Hollywood actors meditating. Inside cover story was Just Say Om, where it was sold. 10 millions of Americans are having regular meditation. You cannot have meditation now in America. In churches, in mosques, in temples, of course. But even in hospitals, in prison houses, in schools, colleges, airports, railway platforms, everywhere you get meditation houses, meditation rooms. I went to United Nations building last year. I saw in a corner there is meditation room. When I went to Zurich, when I went to Europe for that second international conference on disaster management, so my return flight was from Zurich to Bombay. So there was some time, so I was strolling through the big market. They have prepared a very big market on Zurich airport. There was, I saw one board, signboard, meditation chamber, beautiful meditation chamber at Zurich airport. So, in a way, Swamiji's prophecy is coming true. Americans are now taking up this Indian spiritual culture. Only the paradox is that Indian youth are blindly imitating Western culture. That's a paradox. The other countries are now going for meditation and yoga, but our own youth are still going mad after the imitating the Western materialist culture. Well, Swami Vivekananda never said be one-sided. No. Swami Vivekananda always said be open-minded. He said let us take the best of everything. What he wanted was Eastern and Western combined. He said what we want is Western science coupled with Vedanta. Good things we must learn from other countries. He did not want to be one-sided, or he was not a closed mind. But he said, why do you want to blindly imitate the Western materialistic culture which is giving rise to so many suicides, so many mental patients? Try to have, we have our own nectar of Indian spiritual culture. Of course, good things we must learn. And as far modern science is concerned, just as Mr. Aikat had already told, when Swami Vivekananda was traveling from Japan to Chicago, in the same ship was Jamshedji Tata. And that time, Swami Vivekananda inspired Jamshedji Tata not to go for imports. He start our own industry so that we can employment to our own people. And he gave him inspiration to start Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore. This is when he was traveling in the same ship with Jamshedji Tata. Jamshedji Tata was going for that international fair that was going to happen, and Swamiji was going for participating in the World Parliament of Religions. But Swami Vivekananda was so broad-minded, so open-minded, and so modern even that he was far ahead of our time. That time he was talking about globalization. That time Swami Vivekananda was talking about this science and technology is a must if we want to develop. So science and Western science coupled with Vedanta, that is what Swami Vivekananda said. So he had a global perspective, and that is why Federico Mayer, the Director General of UNESCO, in 1993, when you know that centenary of Swami Vivekananda's participation in Chicago Parliament Regions was being observed, on October 8, 1893, there was a big celebration in Paris. At that time, Federico Mayer, the Director General of UNESCO, said, why we are celebrating Swamiji's participation in Parliament religions? Why UNESCO is celebrating? He gave the reason. He said, when I went to the constitution of Ramakrishna Mission that was drawn up by Swami Vivekananda in 1897, I was surprised that that constitution was exactly similar to the constitution drawn up by UNESCO in 1947. He was so far ahead of his time. He was talking about harmony of religions. He was talking about serving the poor. He was talking about taking care of the underprivileged. In 1897, he was far ahead of our time. He said that is why UNESCO is the proper place to celebrate Swami Vivekananda's participant in World Parliament in the Parliament. And now UNESCO is celebrating 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. So Swami Vivekananda is very, very relevant today. I can go on, but I think there is some question answers to be there. So at the end, I would like to only say that Swami Vivekananda was a multifaceted personality. So many aspects have been discovered by so many people, but it was reserved for Bharat Chamber of Commerce to focus on this particular aspect of Swami Vivekananda, that is management and leadership qualities. His innovation or his perspective about management. Before the advent of management, he was talking about management, and before the advent of servant leadership, he was practicing servant leadership. This aspect of Swami Vivekananda's personality, of Swamiji's message, his global perspective, was not very well focused, and it's a very good beginning, and Bharat Chamber of Commerce has taken the initiative to unravel this type of personality, this aspect of Swami Vivekananda. That's a great thing. We need to do that so that Swamiji's message is relevant for everybody, for managers, executives, for the poor people, for the educationists, for the teachers, for the students. He messages for all. He loved all because he believed in Vedanta. For him, everybody was a manifestation of the same Brahman. There was a beautiful song, very favorite song of Swami Vivekananda. And he was a great singer. And Sri Ramakrishna also was a great singer. So whenever Naren would come, Sri Ramakrishna, Naren, please sing. Naren, gao, ek to gao. And then Naren will sing. Then Naren said, now I'm going. No, not before you have sung that song. That is the favorite song of Sri Ramakrishna and also the favorite song of Swami Vivekananda. Which one is that song? That is the song written by the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar. He was a Sufi saint, but the message of whole Vedanta goes there. तुझसे हमने दिल को लगाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है, एक तुझको अपना पाया, जो कुछ है सो तू. Everywhere is the same universal consciousness present. सबके मकान दिल का मकीन, तू कौन सा दिल है जिसमें नहीं तू, हर एक दिल में तू ही समाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. एषा सर्वेषु भूतेषु गुणो आत्मा न प्रकाशते, दृश्यते त्वग्रया बुद्ध्या सूक्ष्मया सूक्ष्मदर्शिभिः. Inside every human being is the same Atman. काबा में क्या, देवल में क्या, तेरी परवरिश होगी सब जहां, सभी ने तुझको सिर है झुकाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. Everywhere, Swami Sri Ramakrishna practiced all religions by turn in his old laboratory and said, Joto mat toto path, as many faiths, so many paths. क्या मलायक, क्या इंसान, क्या हिंदू, क्या मुसलमान, जैसा चाहा तूने बनाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. त्वम स्त्री, त्वम पुमानसी, त्वम कुमार, उतवा कुमारी, त्वम जीर्णो दंडे न वंचसी, त्वम जातो भवसि विश्वतो मुखा. Oh Lord, you are present in every person, young, old. You are tottering, you are the old man that is tottering with this. Inside every human being, you are the same. Same thing is being done. अर्श से लेकर फर्श जमी तक और जमी से अर्श बरी तक, जहां मैं देखा तू ही नजर आया, जो कुछ है तू ही है. सर्वम खलु इदम ब्रह्म ईशावास्यमिदम सर्वम. एंड लास्ट, सोचा समझा देखा भाला, तुझ जैसा न कोई ढूंढ निकाला, अब यह समझ में जफर की आया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. Everywhere is the same Lord present. Worship of the same Lord will give us. When you worship, it is a double profit. When we are in Bharat Chamber of Commerce, we have to talk about profit. Swami Vivekananda talks about double profit. He says double profit. 2% getting the profit. When you serve, when we go to the villages says, you have come here to serve. There's something, some selfishness must be there, some selfish interest is there, because government people also come to serve us, and we know how selfish they are. So you are also selfish people. You must have come with that selfish motive. Then I say, yes, we have come with a selfish motive. Then they say, this Swamiji at least good. At least he is talking the truth. He said, you are coming for selfish purpose. But then I said, But you ask me, what is the selfish purpose? We all have renounced the world. We have given up our parents, our family members, everything. We have renounced everything. Why? We have sacrificed everything so that we can realize God in this very life. Atmana mokshartam. But Sri Ramakrishna said, worship of God in temple, churches, and mosques will give you, of course, God. But if you want to reach God quicker, the best way is to worship God in human beings, worship the God in poor. So we have come here to serve you, not for serving you, but because serving God in you, we will get our God relation quicker. That is the selfish purpose for we have come. Then say that is a good purpose, good selfish purpose. So when we give some bread to a poor man, that poor man gets a bread and he gets his hunger is appeased. That is a profit. You give to a sick person some medicine, his disease is removed. Yes, that's a profit to him. But what you get? He gets only chapati. What you get? Salvation. What you get? Infinite joy. What you get? Infinite happiness. What you get? He gets finite happiness. You get infinite happiness. Infinite knowledge. Infinite bliss. Double profit. Double profit वाला business का business शुरू कर दिया स्वामी विवेकानंद ने रामकृष्ण मिशन के द्वारा. Double business profit. Double profit का business. This is the profit. This is the double profit business. What is that? When you serve others with the idea that God is present in him or her, the other person of course gets benefited, but most benefit goes to you because you get infinite joy, infinite bliss, infinite happiness. So that is the message of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was a multifaceted personality. Let us bow down to him. And A.L. Basham, one of the greatest historians of our time, said, it is very difficult to evaluate the importance of Swami Vivekananda on the scale of history. He said in 1963, during the centenary of Swami Vivekananda, he said, it is very difficult to evaluate the importance of Swami Vivekananda on the scale of history because we are too near the history. Perhaps the future generations will be able to understand the importance better. We are very too near. And after 150 years also, I have to tell the same thing. We are too near the history to evaluate the importance of Swami Vivekananda. Perhaps the future generations will be able to do better justice. Thank you very much.
Speak even though we are speechless. We all hoped we'll go back home with something. I think we are all going to go back home with a lot of things.
Take some questions? Yeah, questions they can take, and also I have brought some books and CDs they can take. And some questions they can ask.
Swamiji has brought some books and CDs which are there on display. You can have a look at them and take them. And because of the magnitude of the message involved, because it is so important that this message should go out of this room, and I am sure all of us will spread the message around in our own capacity, I'll make a small change compared to the way we handle question answer sessions. And I will give the first choice to the media because they are the people who can take this message outside this room. So, is there any question the media would like to ask?
Hello. My question is to Swami Nikhileswarananda. Swamiji, what's the solution of this, financial crisis in Swamiji's values?
Which newspaper do you present?
Hindu Business Line.
Hindu Business Times. So you are asking about the present financial crisis
Yeah.
that has come?
Yeah.
What is the solution according to Swami Vivekananda? Well, for any financial crisis, we must understand that capitalism will not work, socialism will not work. Only what thing will work is humanism. And I have given this idea that when we prosper together, we prosper together. And when I prosper and you fall, then you will find both will fall. This is what is happening. And I am very happy to tell you, on the 24th of this month, we had a state-level youth convention in Baroda, whole-day youth convention, and the selected youth from all over Gujarat participated. Sam Petroda was to come, but he could not come because of his engagement, but we had a video conferencing, and he was asked many questions. He gave a beautiful reply. He said, American model of development will not work. We have to develop our own Indian model of development based on Indian culture and the background of the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda, and that should become so successful that the countries like South Africa and other countries will not go for studying the economic model development of America, but would come to India to imitate our model of development. We have to have our own model of development based on our Indian spiritual culture, based on our methods of humanism, based on our spirituality, based on the teachings of Gandhiji and Swami Vivekananda, which was based on humanism, and which was not based on capitalism, which was not based on corruption, which was not based on exploitation of workers, but of taking workers also in their own fold, worshipping the God present in human form, whether in labor force, whether in supervisors, whether in management. These two extremes have to be avoided. One is neglecting the masses, one is neglecting the managers. No, both are necessary for us. So we have to see God in managers, we have to see God in the workers also. So this humanistic approach based on Vedanta, which is our own Indian culture, will be giving us a new model of development, and that will resolve this present economic crisis. And at present, today if we are surviving, it is because of our Indian culture and Indian background. And why America is not able to survive? Because that is based on consumerism. Khao, piyo, moj karo, mar jao. Khao, piyo, moj karo, mar jao. As eat, drink and be merry and die. This is their culture. But in our country, we don't have that culture. Our spiritual culture says that yes, the purpose of life is not only eat, drink and marry, but we have a special purpose of life. And that is getting the joy from within. And that spiritual joy can come from a simple bread also, from a simple dress also. So their economies produce more, sell more, get more, make the economy thrive. And if you don't have money, go for credit card. And one day the bank goes corrupt, bank becomes bankrupt, and you become corrupt and you go down. That is not our way of life. So I think on the long run, if we have to have a good economical development, we will have to have our own development model based on Indian culture.
Now some questions from our members and the audience, please.
Swamiji, thank you for your astounding speech. It was very absorbing. And not only that, really, we are going back home much more learned on the vision of Swami Vivekananda than what we were before we came here to hear your speech, sir. Now, I have a small question about the holistic thought advocated by Swami Vivekananda about charity. The question is, suppose I use charity as a promotional strategy for myself. I am benefiting the society. At the same time, I am promoting myself. What would be the, from the vision of Swami Vivekananda, how would you respond on this? Say, for example, sir, I'm just thinking, for example, corporate social responsibility. The companies are taking responsibility of the society but at the same time, you know, in a way, they are also, that is becoming a strategy to promote themselves also. So this is the only, I mean, a way of how they are promoting themselves, at the same time benefiting the society. This is, on this I just wanted your
Yeah,
response.
very good. Now, very good question. What I will say is that we have to choose between two evils, lesser evil and bigger evil. Bigger evil is like this, that the corporate sector becomes irresponsible, does not look after the poor people, and spends all its money in drinking liquor. Another lesser evil is that the company is making use of the funds for charity, for advocating its own. Which will be, out of the two, what will you choose? What will you choose? Out of the two? Second one. So that is what I am saying. The ideal thing would have been that all the corporate managers and executives become like monks, purely unselfish, and not caring even for name and fame, and only unselfish service. That can happen, that's very good. And some companies are doing that also, not that they are not doing. They are more interested in the service aspect rather than promoting their own name. Whereas some companies are more interested in promoting their own names rather than real service. In fact, there are some companies I know which are doing social service in the name of only their reports are there coming out. Nothing is being done. That also is there. So there are various grades of these companies. But I will try to give maximum marks to that company who will try to do service with the spirit of worship of God in man. That is the best. But if that cannot be done, at least if it does not exploit its workers, and if it does some sort of charity and looks after the other people with a humanistic impulse, maybe in the process taking mileage out of it is better than the others.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for the discourse, and I would want to know what was Swami Vivekananda's vision regarding advice for government to carry out this vision.
Well, as I told you, I will give you the answer in a different way. When Swami Vivekananda was there, there was no government. There was British government, but he knew that British government is here to suck our blood. That also he knew very well. So it is told, we don't have any authentic background, but it is told that he used to meet all the kings and princes to unite them together to throw away the British government, because he saw that British government did not do good to us. We do not have document evidence for that. But one thing we know, that Swami Vivekananda time and again said, liberty is the first condition of growth. And he used to talk about political freedom also to many places. So what he said was that, what we are now talking about government officers, that time there were princes were there. He used to meet the princes and tell them that your responsibility is not only entertainment of yourself, but also to look after the needs of the poor people or the people of whom you are ruling. Not only that, he influenced Maharaja Khetri to start a laboratory in his own palace. Not only that, he told him to look after, start educational institutions for the poor people. Khetri also, in Gujarat also many places, he influenced them to start education for women. So Swami Vivekananda believed that the government officers, because they are public servants, should give more importance to service attitude rather than only